Useless as an asshole on elbows. These brothers is buttermilk. Your acquaintance to defeat. Worm fighting an eagle. Wearing corduroy in July. None harder than I. And I get the best press. But self-less, I could almost win for losing. Still the most magnanimous mic. Paint the strike. Fear. Poet, no peers. No A alike. Went from 0 to 60 in 7 seconds. Bad to insane. There I remain. Tick tock, take a dance.
And we are live! Welcome back, everybody, to the HotBox and the fabulous and historic Ming Lounge and the even more fabulous and historic Republic Cafe. I am your host, Christopher Boatwright. Joining me this evening is your co-host, Amy Phillips. She will be up here shortly. My goodness, you guys, we got some classic hotboxers in the room. We got some of our new breed in the room tonight. I am looking forward to an excellent hotbox. It's been a crazy week, you guys. Always a crazy week. We got the impeachment hearings. I think is it Hunter Biden's impeachment that's going on right now? Because his name seems to be coming up a lot. My real big question for the Republicans who are testifying on behalf of the president right now is, how many Time magazine articles can you submit to the congressional record before you have to disable ad blocking? You know, it's like a guy kept just saying, "Can I enter another news?" Yeah, whatever, dude. Just you got some from highlights you want to enter to the congressional record? That's fine. I found all the conspirators on the 3rd page. It's great. I circled them. You guys remember Highlights magazine? A lot of people were surprised when they look at my mouth that I know what Highlights magazine is, but I do know what Highlights magazine is. Let's see, what else? What have I been up to this week? I was working on a joke. Kids were working on a joke so long, you're just like, ugh, you know? Just kind of get sick of it. It's like that's your job now, is just this fucking one joke you can't get rid of. I was working on an abortion joke for so long, I think the state of Indiana would force me to keep it at this point. There you go. It's an abortion crowd, you guys. Yeah. Some of them had them, some of them have been them. You guys, coming to the stage. One of the new breed of comedians in here tonight. I love this guy. He's a lot of fun. I might have to kill him after the revolution, but that's okay. It's all love until then. Let's give it up for my friend, Mr. Chris Knutson, everybody! All right, packed house. Sweet. Standing room only. I'm recording only audio, no video, so just go along with it. I haven't been here in a few weeks. It's hunting season, so I've been busy spending a ton of money for absolutely no prize whatsoever. My girlfriend and I, we've been shopping at like Sportsman's Warehouse and Cabela's trying to find, you know, she's like, we gotta get you some camo. I'm like, babe, I've got camo. And she goes, no, you need the special scent-free, blah, 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 this kind of, you know, spring top, bottom, whatever shit. And I look at the price tag on some of this stuff. I don't know if you've looked at actual like hunting camo. It's like $300 or something for a jacket. For that kind of money, I should be able to sneak up and poke the motherfucker right in the ass. I mean, shouldn't be that hard. But no, so we go out there, you know, we're out there before sun's up, and we're cruising through the woods, and, you know, just scout locations, looking for, I had an elk tag, that's what we were looking for, and I got a little thing I want to show you here. This is an elk call. Okay, now I'm going to demonstrate it. I promise it won't be very loud, but this is a genuine, they call this a hoochie mama. Okay, so here it goes. Okay, what that sound is the sound of a cow elk, a female elk. All right. So we're out in the woods and I'm playing with that, and nothing shows up. So, fuck, I'm out $30. You know what the fuck? I get home, I plug it into Google Translate. Turns out it says, "Let's just be friends." But so no, my girlfriend, you know, she tried to help me through it. She's real supportive. She's a great girl. When I first started dating her and I first showed up to her house, she was we're both gun enthusiasts, and so she's showing me some of her rifles and whatnot. And she's got several of them leaned up against the gun safe. I said, well, why aren't those inside the safe? And she says, there's no more room. So I immediately called Cabela's to see if they sold wedding rings. I
I asked her recently, I wanted to get her a pair of vibrating panties, with the remote control. I'll slip them on, we'll go out for the day, do some shopping, go get something to eat, have some fun. And she looks at me and she says, I don't know, that's going to take a lot of trust. I said, babe, I've had you tied up to the bed with a butt plug and nipple clamps with a dildo attached to a reciprocating saw. We just spent an entire day out in the woods, both with multiple loaded weapons, in which we also got into a fight because neither one of us had eaten that day. We made it home safe. What the fuck do I have to do to get your trust? Yeah, she didn't laugh when I said that either. Chris mentioned the impeachment trials right now. Here's what I don't understand. Here's my only problem with the whole situation is that we're having congressional hearings and testimonies and witness statements about a phone call that the president made. Meanwhile, I've received no less than 17 fucking robocalls today, and nobody is doing a goddamn thing about it. Priorities, that's all I'm trying to say. 3 minutes, yeah, that went really fucking fast. What else? What crap I had, I just did that joke. Oh, I have, so, a lot of people look at me, I mean, shit, there's a don't tread on me on the hoodies, I'm talking about guns and hunting. Second Amendment, white guy, yeah, no shit. No, realistically, I have 3 main rules that I live by. 1, everybody deserves a second chance. I'm an alcoholic, I've got 11 years sober, I hurt a lot of people. I appreciate that, thank you. I was given a lot of second chances. My first time here, I fucked up pretty good, and I was given a second chance. Number 2, I don't care who you are, what color your skin is, what genitalia, what you want to be called, what race you are, religion, educational background, I don't care. You're either an asshole or you're not, period. And 3rd, Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself.
Yes!
That's why I wanted to be first up. I didn't want to steal someone else's joke. Now someone in the room, I guarantee, is looking at their book or their notes thinking, fucking asshole, goddamn Christopher. If you're on my Facebook page, you know Jerry Epstein didn't kill himself about 47 times today. So I did mention that I'm out. An alcoholic. I made, before I tried the 12-step programs, which worked for me. Before that, I tried doing it on my own a couple of times and it didn't really work out. When my son's mom had gotten pregnant, one of the promises I made to her was, I'm not going to drink the entire pregnancy. I made it 3 days. I told her I made it 5, so I was kind of close. But I mean, see, the thing about alcoholics is you gotta understand alcoholic math, okay? A couple is a 6-pack, a few is a case, and anything beyond that is just right. And Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. Have a wonderful night, everyone. Drive home safe.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris. I work as a jeweler. A lot of people don't know this about me. I do custom high-end bridal jewelry. And there's a piece of equipment that I was not super familiar with when I started working at a place. And they said, yeah, just go over, use the laser welder. You can weld metal right on top of a stone. And I'm like, so I go over there. I'm welding a tip right on top of a family's heirloom. And I watch a laser, like electricity and light, blow a complete hole right through a sapphire. And I was drunk with power. I'm like, wow, just watched a hole right up, like, right in the center of this family's heirloom. And I was like, ooh, sorry. Thankfully, it turned out okay. We replaced it. Everything's fine. But I was like, ooh, by the power of light, appear thou circular, right in the middle of this stone. I feel like there was a punchline to that one, but I forgot it. I didn't think it was funny. For me, it was like the IMAX of my failures because it was done under a microscope. Wow. I would like to bring up the next comedian who I know would never fail at something like that. Has anyone heard of Bram Kennedy here? Everyone over there on this side of the room? Come on up, Bram.
Kevin showed me how to roll a blunt like 5 minutes ago. So I'm feeling a little weird. Hope that's cool with y'all. I'm saying things like y'all now. That's how high Kevin got me. Now I'm Southern. I didn't know that could happen. My heart is racing the way I imagine professional racers do. You know. Fast, a lot, for money. Dude, my daughter's been like telling people that I let her watch Shutter Island. She's 3 years old. It's like, what kind of dad, like what kind of person would it take, like how would I be if I was just like letting her watch these like deep psychological thrillers? If she was just going to go around telling everybody how cool I am. You know? I'm a cool dad, but if you're going to go brag about it and if we end up doing something illegal, that's going to be a problem. So now I have to be less cool. Now we're just going to have to watch like the old Mary Poppins, and you're going to watch it all the way. That's what we're doing now. If you want to brag about that, I thought the old one was better. You'll sound sophisticated. Maybe you'll get the teachers on your side. She's smart. She's a smart girl. I get worried sometimes that like she's picking up on habits of mine. Like she caught me smoking weed once, and I don't want her to like do. That's just like weird. I don't want her to think that that's something you should do necessarily. So I got this like 4 foot tall bong that like I can barely reach. Like, sorry, sweetheart, you must be this high to get this high, you know? If she gets a friend over there, it's dangerous, because I did teach her how to work that end, the bottom end, because I need help. Dude, she can pack a mean bowl with those little baby fingers. Little baby pack bowl. I want my new baby pack bowl. Yeah, I'm trying to like, she's 3, and she's like learning about the world and identifying, like, she's asking me like, is that a boy? And it's just like, no, dude, you can't. I don't know what the right way to ask that is yet. You have to like, I don't know, you just have to like sort of guess, but like, if it's really not obvious, then you have to like, just avoid it altogether, just say they, just don't even do it, just. I'm trying to figure it out too, but like now I have to teach her, and it's like we're both trying to keep up. But I'm just like, I want her to know that like it's not gender. We all know like gender's not. It doesn't matter what you're born with, you know. I told her like you can be whatever you want. You know, gender's just a social construct. And I always wanted a son. You know. My sister's son is a year younger than Luna, and he can like play catch. He likes playing with balls. It's like he relates to them for some reason. And then like, I just keep hitting my daughter in the face with baseballs, which is like technically okay, because if she's wearing a mitt, like, hey, we're doing the game. It's not abuse. This is like, she's not doing her part. You get a couple. You get a couple, and if it's a wiffle ball, you get a lot more. But like, don't quote me on that. That's not like, that won't hold up in court. But like, socially, you know. I've been replacing regular milk for her at bedtime with muscle milk. And it is working. She has broader shoulders than any 4-year-old. They moved her up to green room because they thought she was a big girl. I don't know. No, literally, they just joked that on me this morning. They were just like, oh, by the way, Luna's in green room now. And I was just like, wait. Okay, is that like, okay, is that a smart room or is that like a, like, what are we dealing with here? And they're like, no, but no, we really want to just like entice her to do more. And it's just like, okay, more than average or like more than what's too far below average to like, do I have to pay more? Is it, what's green room? What's happening here? No, she's apparently very advanced for her age. Or actually, the other option is her best friend is like a month older than her, and she just went to green room, and then my daughter started biting everybody in class. Because she just can't handle it. Serena! Dude, Serena and her have the same boots. You can't take them apart. Dude. Trying to teach my daughter about like hot, like too hot, like the oven or like this, like outlets even, like too hot. And like every single time I use the broiler in the oven, I burn my fleshlight. And I just don't know like what's the quickest way to like heat up your fleshlight. Like I don't know, like the broiler seems like, but I found out what you do is you just keep a pot of really hot water on the stove at all times. I learned this from the Food Network. And then you don't have to heat it up, and you just keep your sex toys in there. Dude, you're not, no matter where you look, you are not gonna find a 200-degree pussy on a second's notice. Like, this is seriously, this is hot. This is what you want. But my daughter got a step stool now, so she can sort of see on top of the stove, so I had to put a lid on it. Anyways. Dude, thanks for that blunt count. That was sick. Guys, Chris is gonna be on the bye.
Bram Kennedy, everybody, let's give it up for him. Bram Kennedy is not a registered sex offender because, as a libertarian, he refuses to pay the registration fee. Anybody here got a birthday coming up? Anybody? Woo! You got a birthday coming up, John? What are you gonna do? You got any plans?
Yeah, sure.
You gonna go to your school and shoot your classmates? Because that seems to be the big thing to do on your birthday.
That's beautiful.
Look, this is just a tip. We all know you do not go to school. Come on through, guys. It's fine. We're just talking about killing kids. It's fine. You see, they like it. They're smiling and shit. Awesome. Good to see you guys. Have a good time. All three at the same time? All right, nice. We all know you don't go to school on your birthday to shoot your classmates. That's why there's candles on the fucking cake. You make a wish for that shit like a normal American does. Somebody else will probably kill those fucking kids. Can we be honest? At this point in time, you don't need to kill your bullies. There's somebody else at your school who will come there and probably kill your bullies. You got 4 fucking years to do all that shit. Unless you move a lot. If you move a lot, kill them, I guess. You don't a lot of options. Guys, coming to the stage is somebody who is one of my favorite bullies in town. He bullies the shit out of some food. Eats it all up, you guys. I love this guy a lot. They call him the Brown Thunder after they look in his underpants. Let's give it up for Mr. Kevin Perez, everybody.
I'm actually known at work as like the Mexican guy who farts a lot. It's embarrassing. I try to eat veggies, but also eat McDonald's, and like, I just fart all day. Or with this dude who's like a really stereotypical, like crazy Washingtonian guy. He's like kind of brilliant, but really weird. because he took his carpenter's pencil and he drew like Starry Night or something. It was like a objectively pretty good piece of art just on a board he was gonna cut. And I like look up to him, but sometimes he'll be like, I don't like watching horror movies, dude. And I was like, why? He's like, because it opens up the path to the devil in your mind. And I told him, what? He says, yeah, there's a path to the devil in everyone. And if you watch horror movies, it like opens it. I just told him, I don't get it, dude. What are you talking about? And then he just kept, he was like, never mind, forget about it. And I was like, whoa. That guy's like really religious. Like really freaks me out. But he's cool as shit. He teaches me a bunch of stuff. Looking for something funny. Alright. Oh, let's talk about Little Peep. Cool. Do you guys know who Little Peep is? Yeah. You do? Sick. Cool. Alright. Anyway, he's like a music artist, but his movie came out, and I had to go to Camus to watch it. And I was outside smoking a cigarette, and I came with my homegirl. And then I was smoking a cigarette, and she already gone in to get seats. And there's this girl out front with her bag, but she can't go into the theater without her bag. So I was like, hey, like, do you want to just put it in my car? And she's like, what? I was like, I introduced myself. I was like, can you just put it in my car? I'm going to watch the same movie. Then I said, then you can even sit with me and my friend, who's also a woman, so you don't have to be afraid. It was really weird. But like, we pulled up to my car and I opened the door for her, and like, she will get close to it. So I go like 50 feet on the other side of the street, and like, just put it in and then start walking. So she like, throws it in and closes it, but I'm like 50 feet away, like, yelling. But yeah, it was weird. And then we went to the theater, and then my friend was there, and then she was like, oh yeah, look, this is a woman. She got so comfortable, it was weird. Yeah, Little Peep. It's probably my best set ever. As we're witnessing a lot of gold being dropped. Things are cool. My dad's a professional manscaper for a living. If you give him money, he'll trim your bush. It's crazy. He's got like a big truck with a trailer. Just for all his manscaping. He started off in this country like in like 2004 with a manscaping business. He's a cool guy. Cool. Alright, that works. I have more shit like that somewhere, probably. Kids are weird. I have kids, not my real kids, they're like my sister's kids. But I hang around them a lot. So they're kind of, it's weird because like, 6-year-old yelling and punching you in the face is weird, but it's like a normal thing kids will do to you. But they'll still like love the shit out of you, but like sometimes they freak out because they didn't get like the right birthday present and like want to punch you in the face over it. It's just a thing. It's weird. I already used a blanket, super soft, it was great, and then she like looked at it and hated it, and I got super upset. Then she like tried it, and she's like, oh, this is super soft, thanks, dude. I was like, sick. But she was still mad. I don't know. Kids. I like playing frisbee with kids, or like Foursquare. Foursquare is a dope game. Tag is good, hide and seek, dope. Games, kid games. You guys ever do that thing when you have a parachute and you lift it up? And you see all the colors and stuff, and you get inside of it and play games? That's like the coolest fucking thing in the world. It's cool, right? I saw a video of like these college kids a long ass time ago, like 2003 or something. There's all these kids on a campus, it's like a video of a field, and there's a bunch of smoke coming out of one of those parachute things, and they're all inside. And like the security guard rolls up, and he like opens it, and then like 100 fucking kids and all these clouds of smoke just dart everywhere. It's like really cool. But I always wanted to get one of those parachute things for like hotboxing or something. You never see that, but if you did see that, you'd be like, this is sick. I don't know. I parachute. That should be some sort of e-service or something. have a dude pull up to like your kid's birthday party with a parachute, and like knows a bunch of games. It's the shit. It's $1 billion idea, but it's pretty fucking weird. It would be cool. It would be cool. I'm debating tattoos. I want to get Stickman Devil on my right and a Stickman Angel on my left shoulder. I think that'd be pretty cool. The light. Okay. Got 1 minute. Stuff in my head. Stuff in my head. I need new tires soon. Does anybody else need new tires soon? It's hard, man. I understand you. Alright. 30 seconds, 29. Honestly, I don't know. What's like the coolest fight in history? Just name 2 guys really fast. Fist fight.
Ollie and Fraser.
Ollie and Fraser, okay.
My dad.
Your dad?
You didn't say like.
And my dad? Okay, alright. Cool, bye. Bye guys.
Kevin Perez, everyone. Woo! I'm gonna keep up the jewelry talk here. One of my extra favorite things, I discovered that I had a fetish while at work, which is kind of uncomfortable. I worked in a jewelry store, and of course they have fatty alarm codes. Everything is under lock and key, and they have the secret boop to call the security company. I go in and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna set the code for the door. Boop, doot, 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 doot. And I look at my coworker and I'm like, shit, I did something bad. Immediately the phone starts ringing, of course, the alarm company, and they're like asking all these questions. And I'm like, fuck, I just accidentally called the police. They show up silently in tactical gear, which was so awesome. First thing in the morning, I was like, ha 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 ha. And they come in like, doop, 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 doop. And I was like, flooding the basement, like just with DNA. I'm like, oh my God. I turned to my coworker, I'm like, I should do this every week. And he was like, you get 1 a month. 1 a month for free. So then I'm like, okay, what do I do with this now that I know I love this? I found a place downtown. I call it 3 o'clock. It's a certain time where a bell rings and a cargo bay door rolls up and floods the streets with tactical gear police on bikes. So I just sit there like premeditated restraining order, just watching them, popping popcorn, eating it, and just sweating. And I'm like, yeah, it gives a whole new meaning to like, fuck the police, like, fuck the police. And I'm like, yeah, exactly, fuck the police. I would like to bring up our next comedian, Johnny Gerber.
Kevin was talking about parachutes. That made me think of somebody who was super out of touch when it came to affordable forms of exercise. I was talking with this guy once at a coffee shop, and I told him about how I was getting out and running. And he said, you know, running's pretty cool, but have you ever thought about joining a skydiving group? You get a lot of exercise that way. My parents got me into a skydiving group once. I thought it was funny. Let's see, last year I met a woman at a club. Things seemed to be going pretty well. I said, hey, let's go home together. And she said, hey, I've got something to tell you. I've got mono. So that's fine, I've got mono too. Together we can be mono-y mono. I met another woman at a bar recently. She was a bit older than me. She was like, how old are you? I said, I'm 29. And she said, oh my God, you're such a baby. I said, well, I am a Gerber baby, so there's that. Also, don't be surprised if I invite you back to my crib. That's kind of what I sleep in. Okay. She thought it was funnier. That's all that mattered. Oh boy. Who's here? Is everybody familiar with the Garden of Eden story thing? Who isn't? I think that Satan did a big favor to humanity by encouraging our forefathers Adam and Eve to eat the forbidden fruit. Yeah, the reason is like they were just like totally unaware they were naked before they ate the forbidden fruit. And then afterwards they're like, oh fuck, we need to get some clothes on. I don't know, Satan was basically doing to Adam and Eve what a lot of guys do for each other, where it's like, hey, your fly's down. Okay. The weirdest thing about that story though is God's reaction to everything. Like after I'm like, fuck, where's our clothes? God's like, Satan, why did you tell them that their clothes they need clothes? Why did you tell them they were naked? Which makes me feel that God's just a perverted hotel clerk in the other room jacking off to his creation. Like God just like he set everything up perfectly. He's like, yeah, they're gonna come in and get their keys, and they're gonna go in their bedroom, then they're gonna just get all naked and shit. And I'm just gonna, I don't know, like, I think, so God said, he looked at his creation and said it is good. That's the generic way I heard it growing up. I think it was more like, it's good. Creation's fucking good. You guys are so sexy. Why'd you put your clothes back on? Come on. Come on, fuck on. That's my take on the creation story. Other things. So growing up, I went to church a lot. And I was always a little bit not a big fan of the concept of heaven, at least as everybody else was putting it. Like people would tell me, Jonathan, you know what heaven's gonna be like? It's gonna be like this worship service, but 100 times better. Like the best worship service you've ever been to. Have you guys been to a church worship music service before? It's like, I don't know, people telling me shit like that is like somebody eating Jack in the Box all the time, like that's their mainstay of food, and they're like, heaven's feasts are gonna be like Jack in the Box tacos eternally. It's like, come on, man. You're setting the bar really low, and there's gonna be a lot of diarrhea going on for eternity. Nobody needs that. Maybe you, but everybody else isn't going to be that appreciative of it. Let's see. Other thoughts. I burned through that material quicker than I thought I was going to. So it goes. Yeah. So I realized growing up in a rural environment gave me a lot of tools for life. Growing up, my dad, he and I would go on hiking trips together, and he'd say, don't worry about the animals. They're more scared of you than you are of them. Which I found really plays well into social dynamics. They are just as scared of you. That was a brief thought. Let's go with something. Does anybody here ride the bus ever? I've realized riding the bus that there's a lot of, I don't know, a lot of people do complicated things to get away from simple problems. Like, I don't know, Chris probably moved to a different state to avoid children. I don't know, this is a thought. I walked several blocks in one direction to avoid a certain bus stop. Let me describe this bus stop. It's right next door to a 7-Eleven in Gresham. There was a lot of people up at 7:30 in the morning doing things they shouldn't be doing. Like walking into traffic, for example. Smoking crack, which probably got them to walk into traffic. And they also like to talk to me. Just terrible. I don't like talking to anybody besides the barista before I go to work. There's this one lady in particular, though, that I'm avoiding. I don't know. I realize that sometimes you're somebody else. As poor as you feel, you're somebody else's rich person. You're somebody else's Jeff Bezos. Like, she came up to me and she said, "You're drinking Dutch Brothers. You drink that every day. You must be really rich or something." Okay. Anyway, thanks, guys. Have a good night. Bye.
Johnny Gerber, everybody! You know, I think it's an interesting tactic to go crowd work on bus stuff, because I just don't think bus riders are an enthusiastic crowd. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You want to go over somebody, anybody here got a new car? That's something to be, you're like, whoa! You're not going to get a lot of people like that, but I think that person is going to be like 10 times more enthusiastic than, "You ride the bus? Thanks for reminding me." You know, yeah, I do. Thank you. I've got to let everybody else know that now, too. God, what would it fucking... Would just Pharaoh be like the really good version? Oh, Pharaoh. You guys, nobody ever been to a Christian musical worship service?
That was a terrible song. I hated it.
Pharaoh, we gotta go? Yeah, it's a really great fucking song. Let's see what else is really good. Having the power team. Anybody ever seen guys on steroids blow up douchebags with their lungs before? That's real fun to watch. Love the power team, you guys. So, a couple weeks ago I did a show. Thank you. I know, hold your applause. And the comedy thing happened. This thing that happens when you do comedy, it happens once in a while. It doesn't happen to be that often because I don't do a lot of shows. Somebody gave me drugs, like grown-up drugs, like real drugs, not the shit you can go buy in a store. I mean, drugs, you know? Yeah. Ketamine, which anybody here ever fucked around with ketamine before?
Yeah.
So, I found out two things on ketamine. The first one is, well, I found out something, and I had a question that came up from ketamine. The thing I found out is that people on Arrowwood can be really mean. And the question I had was, does ketamine make you shit your pants? Because, or did I just regular shit my pants? I don't know, but those fucking hippies, man. For a lot of people who eat mushrooms pharmaceutically, they can say some salty ass shit to people with a loaded diaper. Not nice at all, you guys. But you know who is nice? Let's give it up for our next comedian of the evening. God damn, he's just a little sweetie fucking boy with his semi-Amish beard going on. Let's give it up for Mr. Talon Stanley, everybody.
This is super neat. I've never been called Amish before. So I'm going to try something new for you guys tonight. I can't even guarantee that it's going to be funny, but I have a story that I'm told could have funny points. Haven't worked out any punchlines. I don't know how long it is. Let's fucking jump into it. So, a couple of years ago, when I was in high school, yeah, it's funny. A couple of years ago, you guys are so fucking old. I was a junior in high school, and one of my neighbors had told us that he had a $1,500 hunting bow stolen, which, to anybody who knows how all that works, hurts your soul. But my dad happens to have security cameras up all over the house, and it shows onto the street as well. Now, we went back and watched the footage the next day, see if we could figure out who it was, and we saw somebody on there, and it was definitely some kind of Russian kid, and I went to Battleground High School, so there's Russian kids everywhere. Like, you can't avoid them in class if you know, they're just everywhere. And there's one of the Russians, his name was David, no last names. But he was in my digital photography class with me, and I also found out that he was one of my neighbors. I asked him, you know, did anybody steal out of your guys' stuff recently? You know, wanted to see if there was anybody else that got hit by it, so we can try to, you know, find out what we can get back for him. And we watched the footage, and we saw somebody walking past with the bow, and then about 3 or 4 minutes later, they came back and started looking through our cars, which we didn't even notice. I had a Jeep Grand Cherokee, 93, the premium model. He looked through it, didn't even find anything interesting, which I was a broke kid, there's really nothing interesting in there. But the next day, there was, the bow got returned. Now, and I realized, I told David that somebody had stolen a really expensive bow, and it was reported to the police. Now, the next day, the bow got returned, so we went back and checked it again to see if we could get a better look at their face. Now, this time, he looked in my dad's car, which is a 99 Civic. Again, not a very attractive car, to think, oh, that's got to have some nice shit in it. He looked through. Now, my dad had left his wallet on the passenger seat. The radio was kind of half hanging out, perfect grab and go type situation. And he left with 2 gallon-sized Gatorades. I don't know if he knows that there are so many more things that are worth so much more money, but instead he took my dad's Gatorade. Now, we watched the footage of it, and he's like, are you sure you don't know this kid? And I'm like, I don't think so. He's like, well, you better fucking find him, because he took my Gator. I want that shit back. Now, the next day, I keep saying this, it was about a week amongst all of this. The next day, I was going to ask him again, like, do you really not know who, do you know anybody that this might have happened to? He wasn't there. And then one of my other classmates was like, did you hear about David? I'm like, no, I barely talked to him. I kind of wanted to see if somebody stole, out of his car. They said, oh, he got arrested for car prowling. Do you happen to know who might have told somebody about this? I'm like, yeah, that was fucking me. Didn't know it, but I got my classmate arrested on accident. Now I know the term snitches get stitches, but what they don't know doesn't hurt them, and it doesn't hurt me either. Now that's the story. Like I said, that's the first time I've ever told it in front of anybody that, doesn't even matter if they laugh. And I was prepared for all else, but next time I'm going to come back harder and you guys are actually going to laugh at it. I'm just going to end it there, because anything else is just going to be muttering bullshit. You guys have a good night, and don't be an asshole.
Awesome. Woo! Thank you. Talent Stanley, everyone. I recently did a show in Seattle for a group of magicians. And let me tell you, ceremonial magicians aren't into fucking laughing very much. And I told some pretty good jokes, and one of my favorite was about dating. And I'm like, fuck dating apps. I'm like, I've given that up. Like, I'm just gonna date demons from now on. Like, you open your book, your magic book, flip through, and you're like, oh god, this one has so many legs. Look at this guy. So many friends. Is he in a gang? Like legions and legions of friends? So I go on and on about this, and I'm like, I finally was like, oh shit, he's calling me, guys. Should I answer the phone? And they're just like, So I proceed to have a conversation with a demon in front of people that did not want to laugh. Seriously? I didn't think you were going to call me again. No. I love you more. No. I know. No. I know. It's okay. I'll call you later. I proceed to fart for like 60 seconds at these magic people with straight faces. They were not into it. Went better here. Thanks, guys. I would like to bring up our next comedian, James Fitz. Woo!
Yeah, everybody. Thanks for it. I like giving people nicknames. Yeah. Because I like that moment when someone tells you their name and you go, I don't think so. I got my own system going on. Yeah. You don't tell me your name. I tell you your name. You don't say your name, I say your name. Right? You don't have that power. I got the power. I can call you anything I want. You, what's your name right there?
Rob.
Rob? Not anymore. When I'm talking to you, now you're John Jacob. Yeah, that's right. Whenever I see you around the town, John Jacob it is. I'm going to get the whole town to shout it. Whenever he's about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Who else we got? Who else we got in the crowd? What's your name? Amy. Not anymore. Toby.
Your name is Toby.
I guess y'all get the reference. Better educated than I thought. All right, let's move on from this. I think that reindeer should be called snow deer. Right? More apt for their environment for the next 20 years. Then it'll be perfect again. If you order milk at a restaurant, Lucy, you got some splaining to do. I'm gonna have some questions. Some kind of special diet? You 2 years old? Sharpening up for a bit of the old ultra-violence? It's the only reasons I can think of. I like hair, but not in my mouth. Spit that stuff out, right? Even a cat knows that, right? Spit out the hair. It's not good in your mouth. Which is why I have this beard here. Because I'm not a huge fan of getting kissed on the cheek. Kiss me on the mouth, that's where the money is, right? Don't waste all that time with like the chin. Or like, I don't mind if a girl doesn't shave her armpits, right? I wasn't gonna lick those anyway. Or like, I think guys who they shave their head bald, I think they like getting their head licked like a big lollipop. That's their fantasy. Boat ride. Let's see. They say that Gatorade, it's a great thirst quencher, right? That's their thing. It's a thirst quencher. If that's the case, how come they sell them in such large bottles? All right. I think you could get it done with just an eyedropper if it was really that good, right? You ever think Carmen Miranda was just having a bad hair day? Yeah, I was thinking that too. I was at the hardware store the other day looking for some poison to kill some weeds, right? They had this like heavy duty poison, right? It was like a herbicide, a pesticide, an infanticide, right? That's not good. That's not something you want to be labeled with. But I started thinking, do they got to label everything that's an infanticide? There's a lot of things out there. Cribs. I don't know if you guys know about SIDS, but it's insidious. Just a shake of the head on that one from Bo, right? He doesn't like the SIDS joke.
Alright. Sudden infant death syndrome is what it stands for. You know, the cure for hypothermia is a blanket. When you think about it, right? But you know what happens if you overdose? Depression. Yeah, watch out. That blanket overdose will get you. Especially this time of the season, am I right, people? I don't like going on hikes. I don't like going on hikes because you can't quit. You know? I love quitting, you know? Like flipping over the Monopoly board, right? That's my move. A hike, pretty much, if you want to quit, suicide. It's the only way out. So, I don't like hikes. Dangerous for me. I love quitting so much. I'm bad at sleep. I'm bad at sleeping, guys. Help me out. You'd think I'd be better with all the practice I have. Yeah? Every day I'm trying to get better, but still can't sleep standing up. I want to be like a flamingo, do it on one leg. My strategy is I got one of those those reclining beds, you know? Because every day, 1 degree, a little bit further. Dreams coming true. All right, you guys have been patient. I've been James Fitz. Thank y'all very much. James Fitz, everybody. He writes about half his set for Kyle Curtis. A lot of references. You know, actually, it's funny. James is talking about giving people nicknames. I love nicknames, and my favorite thing about nicknames is that former President George W. Bush has a Wikipedia page just of nicknames he gave to people that worked in his administration. I am not fucking around. It isn't. It's like you got to scroll down too. It's not like 4 nicknames. He gave everybody a fucking. Some guys had 4 nicknames. Karl Rove, 3 fucking nicknames. One of them was Turd Blossom. The other one, Boy Genius. Give that guy 2 fucking nicknames: Turd Blossom and Boy Genius. Do you think like the different nicknames were like, who's in the room with us right now? Oh, Carl's mom's in the room. Boy Genius, come on over here, you know? Fucking love. Isn't it so fun how Bush is quaint now? God, fucking love that guy, man. Speaking of people I love, and old-time hotboxers, man. Long time ago, you guys don't know this. There's a reason why it's called the HotBox 2.0. There was an original hotbox. It was in a marijuana dispensary. Well, it was in an attached room in a marijuana dispensary, and we used to just do what we do here, basically just fucking jerk off verbally at one another, and, you know, we get like 3 laughs out of the evening, and it was great, you know? I've got to know this guy pretty well in that room. There's some things I want to tell you about Robert Gresham. First of all, he's not a misogynist, all right? Now, after you hear his material, I want you to remind yourself he's not a misogynist. Like, here's the thing, all right? People can have a reason. I mean, he is a misogynist, all right? But here's the thing, there's an excuse. If you had, like, let's say you were walking around the Congo one day and 2 guys jumped out of the bush and ate half your fucking head and chewed off your feet. Would it be okay for you to not like Congolese people at that point? I mean, that's, and he had 2 bitches chew his legs off. So you guys coming to the stage. God damn, he's Parent of the Year. I mean, Honey Boo Boo was on TV. He's got to be in the running, right? So let's give it up for my friend, your friend, Robert Gresham, everybody.
Oh, thanks, Chris. Yeah, he's right. I got attacked by pit bulls a couple of years ago, and they tore off my ear, ripped up both of my feet. But I don't blame them at all, because I was wearing that Chocolate Axe body spray. Yeah, it made me douchebag delicious. Yeah. Now I don't trust dogs at all. I kind of think they're like white male feminists. You know? Like, he looks like a good boy, but might jump on me without asking. Start humping my legs, you know? I think that's why women call shady dudes dogs. You know, I hear that all the time. That guy's a dog. Real hound. And he's got a tiny red lipstick dick. Yeah. Now I take pain pills for my chewed up feet. Recently my doctor changed my prescription. He was supposed to give me Cymbalta, but accidentally gave me Cialis. So it's been a weird couple of months. It's been walking around in extreme pain, but distracted by the constant 4-hour erections. Yeah, thankfully that's all fixed up now. I'm on the right medication. One of the side effects of Cymbalta is severe depression. So I'm not in pain anymore, but I am really sad I'm not having those erections. I mean, what is severe depression anyway? You know, when you start looking it up, it's like not enjoying things you used to enjoy. Well, that's everything for me, because I'm 42 years old now. Like, I used to enjoy big wheels and He-Man dolls. And now I'm just way too old and fat to do any of those things. You know, I can't ride a big wheel down the hill. And if I went to the gym, maybe I could fit into one. Find me one of those dudes there that looks just like a He-Man doll. Start answering some questions I've had since I was a kid. Nope. But yeah, it's depression, severe depression. That's suicide. That's what they're talking about. You know, and if you're a dad, people are like, oh, Robert, don't talk about suicide. Just think of the kids. You're like, fine, I'll kill them too. It's really bad advice if you come to think about it. So my girlfriend told me recently that I'm a wonderful lover. Yeah, and I know she's telling the truth based on our extensive vibrator collection. And in fact, we hardly have sex at all. Right now, I'm only allowed to finger her while we watch The Handmaid's Tale. Yeah, I'm getting carpal tunnel. And I understand it, you know. It's we've got an autistic son, and he's got a nipple pinching obsession. So my girlfriend's she touched out, you know. So like, if I even go near her tits, she shuts the whole thing down like a pedophile sighting. Just no love. So we came to an agreement recently. Like, I'm allowed to touch anyone's tits I want, as long as I don't have permission. Yeah, which I think sounds like a booby trap. Trying to set me up there. But yeah, I met my girlfriend on Craigslist, so it's going exactly how you think. Yeah, we were both in pretty healthy places. I was unemployed, living in my best friend's basement, and she just got out of jail for violating a protective order against her mom. And she's vegetarian. But I just looked beyond all of that, focused on her big boobs. Yeah, I'm not judging somebody's past. Of course, we had kids right away, so a better way to start a relationship, right?
Right.
And you want to know the secret to a great relationship? It's not agreeing on how to raise those kids. And that's pure bliss. We lived apart for a while, which was way better for our relationship. You know, that way I got to play Skyrim for 6 hours straight every night with no, feedback from her. And I didn't have to listen to her blame vaccines for our son's autism. Yeah. When your kid's mom's an anti-vaxxer, it's sort of like owning a pit bull that's killed a baby. Right? Like, you still love her, but she might be a danger to the other kids. Probably best if we put her down. And she doesn't like that joke, of course. She's like, you're telling people literally that I should be killed and calling me an anti-vaxxer? That's like calling me the N-word. I said, no, it's not. Not at all. Because I think some people still like N-words. And no one likes anti-vaxxers. But yeah, from her I learned that, dogs get the same exact vaccines regardless of breed or size. So they give the same shots to a pit bull that they give to a chihuahua, which definitely explains why all chihuahuas have autism. Or those really sweet good boys at the pound. Like, who's taking sweet boys to the pound? No. Those are just autistic dogs. They, shit on the floor every time someone knocked on the door, eat all your shoes, and fuck all your fucking stuffed animals. Yeah. Just a good dumb boy. Probably got autism. Just like my boy. Yeah, I got a daughter, and I don't want to copy too much of Brand's material, but she's a awesome, cute little kid. Loves to sing to her dolls. It's adorable. think she's gonna make a great teen mom. She recently is I've been trying to teach her how to use the electric toothbrush, but that backfired because now every time she finds her mom's vibrator, she just runs around the house like just sticking it in her mouth. So she definitely takes after her mom. Yeah. She she's been using words correctly in a sentence like cuss words. It's really alarming. You know, she'll come up to me and be like, "Oh shit, Daddy, I got ice cream on my shirt." I'm like, "No, Amy, that's a bad word. Don't say that." It's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Daddy." "Fuck, I got ice cream on my shirt." I'm like, "There you go. That's better." The other day I asked her how she was feeling, and she's like, "Oh, I'm feeling bitchy." So yeah, she is definitely taken after her mom. All right, thanks everybody. I'm Robert Gresham.
Thank you. Robert Gresham, everyone. I feel pretty lucky that I am now sandwiched in between two gentlemen with beards. Earlier we heard about manscaping. And every time I look at Prince, the artist formerly known as Alive, I think of, shit, he must have done his best work while shaving, because he probably spent most of his time fucking shaving. He was like, dig, if you will, this picture of you and I engaged in a kiss. Yeah, that's what I think about every time. I am looking forward to hearing what Kyle Curtis has to say.
Wait, did you already do your Amish joke?
No.
Oh my god. So Amy has a joke, growing up in Amish country, about all the bearded men, and when you're Amish, you grow a beard, that means you're taken. I'm going to tell your joke, Amy! You're taken! And, well, I'm not going to talk to any man with beards. And then she moves to Portland, and then men with beards start talking to her. And she's like, oh, fuck. Oh, I don't want to be a homewrecker? Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Little does she know that men with beards in Portland means that's a sign of them giving up. That's basically what that means. You guys, it's that time of the year for Christmas songs. You're going to hear them everywhere you go for the next month and a half, so get used to it. It's also time of year when I get to talk about Christmas songs. So I'm going to say my favorite Christmas song that really just captures the essence of the year, the merriness of the season, perhaps the most mirthful of all Christmas songs is Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Particularly the line, we'll just muddle through somehow. That's great. That's mirthful. You know, like here are the actual fucking lyrics. I looked them up. I wrote them down. Someday soon we'll all be together if the fates allow. Until then, we'll have to muddle through somehow. Forgive me if I just don't fucking reach for the, razor blades. Oh my fucking God. Can anybody think of a more depressing Christmas song than Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas? Like, Jesus, oh, maybe I'll see my friends this year. If not, I guess I'll just walk around in some indefinable, vaporless cloud of meh. Or be fucking dead in a bathtub. I don't know. Oh my God. And those lyrics are so problematic that if you look them up online, you'll find the most recent version of Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas sung by Sam Smith, where they cut out those fucking lines. I'm not making this up. This is legitimate. It's Frank Sinatra who sang those lines, which means that Frank Sinatra is literally the first emo Christmas caroler. My other favorite, okay, not my favorite, the most annoying Christmas song sung is We Are Having a Wonderful Christmas Time, sang by that talentless hack, Paul McCartney. Here's the thing, all right, there's this band called the Beatles. John wrote the best songs. George was the cool one. Ringo was funny. There's those fucking Beatles songs where you listen to and you're like, why the fuck were the Beatles a thing? Oh my God, this song sucks. Guess what? It was written by Paul McCartney, all right? I'm not fucking lying when I'm saying he's a talentless hack. Like, let's just, he had a Christmas song, Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time. You guys know this fucking song. Has the chorus that goes, the choir of children sing their song. They practiced all year long. Ding, dong, ding, dong. All right, let me get this straight. According to the logic of this song, the choir of children have been practicing all along to sing ding fucking dong. How hard is it to sing these two words? I don't understand. I'm trying to think about it a little bit. Like, it's January, right after the holidays, and the choir shows up, and the choir teacher's like, all right, guys, we have 2 words to sing, and it's ding, dong, and the kids go, dong, dong. Like, no, close, but no, it's ding, dong, and we get to April, they're like, dong, dong, no, keep practicing all year long, keep at it, this, like, August, and they're like, ding, dong, no, oh man, we just gotta work on it, and then it's like, October, and they're like, ding, dong, no, we gotta practice, we gotta keep practicing through this fucking Christmas Eve, and the choir sings, ding, dong, and the choir director says, oh my God, whew. Oh, it took all year long, but the choir was able to sing ding fucking dong. Wow. And then January shows up and he's like, I gotta fucking do this again? Oh my God. All right, well, that worked. That's great. Cool. All right. Way to commit to a bit in front of stoned fucking faces. That's awesome. Hey, you guys know what they call a made man in the French mafia?
What?
A wise guy. Hold the laughter. Hold the applause. Here's the thing, that's how the French pronounce G-U-Y. They don't pronounce it guy, they pronounce it guy. I came up with that joke. I was working with a woman who was born and grew up in France. I wanted to make her laugh and succeeded. Have yet to succeed in making anybody else laugh at that joke. But clearly that's an indication that my future as a stand-up is to be big in Belgium. So I'm going to end with my French set. Bonsoir. Comment ça va? Oui. Je m'appelle Emmanuel Macron. Je suis au soupe du jour. My name is not Emmanuel Macron. I'm not actually the president of France. I'm also not the soup of the day. My name is Kyle. Thank you so much.
Kyle Curtis, everybody. Did we already go through all the bad Thanksgiving jokes? Because I feel like it's a little early to move on to bad Christmas jokes. I don't know. Ding dong, indeed. Where do you go from there, man? Where do you go from there? You guys, speaking of going places, so I had a bit of drama or near drama in my life earlier on this week. Anybody here ever been to jail? Anybody here been jail? Hell yeah, man. So I didn't go to jail this week, but I thought I was going to go to jail. I had to go to court this week, and on the thing it said we could put you in jail. I'm like, well, all right. So I guess, I'll go. And a couple of things I learned. One, here's a thought that I didn't have until I was in the courtroom thinking I might go to jail. I'm not wearing the right underpants to go to jail. I wear little tiny, I'm not trying to brag, I wear little tiny bikini underpants. I'm not because they're sexy, they're just hella comfortable, and I realized, I'm getting up, they call my name, I get up, stand in front of the judge, and I'm like, oh shit, I might have to take these off in front of some other dudes later on today. I don't know how comfortable is that going to be. The other thought I had was, and this is contrary to something that you think is accepted wisdom, right? That there's never a good time to have a staph infection on your face. Just generally speaking, you're like, well, somebody said, hey, should I get a staph infection on my face? No, definitely don't get a staph infection. You know what? If you're going to court to tell them you're poor, great time to have a staph infection on your face. That is very convincing evidence. Your Honor, can you see this shit going on here? That is a fucking great thing to have. You guys, let's talk about a staph infection. We're going to bring like a lovely person to the stage next. And so the contrast. You get to look at this. It's like the beast. Before, when you get the other way. I don't know if she identifies as beauty. I don't know. She's a wonderful person, though. She's brought it a few times in here. She's going to bring it in here tonight. Let's give it up, everybody, for Miss Andrea Hall!
What a nice compliment from the guy who wears sunglasses inside at nighttime. Thank you, anyway. Yeah, my name is Andrea Hall. I have a white person's name because I stole it from my ex-husband. I couldn't decide if I should keep it, but then I thought to myself, I kept a whole bunch of his other shit too, so why not one more thing? Also, my maiden name was stolen as well. Real story, my grandfather bought us a new name after the revolution. Possibly because our real last name was Basic, or he was persecuted by the law. Either way, the lesson here is 23andMe don't work on Latinos because we lie. And we cheat and we steal and we rape, and that's just my to-do list for Monday. Looking forward to it. It's gonna be fun. Oh, I'm Mexican. Does that not... I forgot to say that first. I'm Mexican, we chill, we steal, we rape. Okay, good, moving on. Being Mexican is actually really hard, it's a lot of work. It's so exhausting, I started going to therapy. But I actually really enjoy it. I enjoy therapy and therapists. I think my favorite thing about them is they can't tell when I'm lying. So my mental health is fine, according to the both of us. I prefer therapists a lot better to regular doctors. I feel like people put regular doctors in too high of a pedestal. Like doctors are just human beings who have learned lots of fancy ways to say, listen, I don't know. Stop asking me. I need to go figure out how to pay my student debt. And just drink water, sleep, try not to die. Okay? We good? Thanks. Even paleontologists can do stuff. They can tell me what kind of diets dinosaurs had. If you ask the doctor what kind of diets we should have, they're like, it's kind of a personal choice, aka we don't know. Again. Now you're going to think that I'm dying because I'm talking about doctors so much. I'm not. I go to doctors a lot because I suffer a terminal case of parenthood. I have a child that makes me very tired. She's half Mexican, so she still doesn't get the whole stealing thing. The other day she went to her room and she brought me a pen and she said, "This is Dada's pen." And I was like, yeah. We take his stuff, dude. You've been living with me your whole entire life. What is this? I feel like you just noticed this now. I feel like one day she's going to be a really good dirty cop and she'll go up to other Mexicans and be like, listen, Ese, we're not the same, you and I. And what is that little bag of cocaine under your car? You're coming with me. I just saw that there. Funny, huh? I'm trying to work on this bit about men. Maybe you guys can help me pull out your notebooks. I just don't want it to come out too, like, what's the word? Angry. So here it is. Men suck. Right? I can't believe I doubted myself about that one. It was just fine all the time. I can't leave without talking to you guys about Tinder. There's a new Tinder trends out there. A trender, if you will. From the creators of taking pictures with your dog and scaring strangers with the idea of outdoorsy exercise. White people bring to you a brand new trend on Tinder, polyamorous. Not even sure I can pronounce it properly, that's how you know it's not right. There's couples on Tinder now, they're all, hey, we're Jack and Jill. We're fun, and we like kayaking, horseback riding, running, climbing mountains, and just like life in general. We're just living it. We are currently looking for a third, wink wink, to join us so that we can have 3 times as much fun. Because we are a couple of just white people who can't get enough of a good thing. What a first world problem thing to have. I am in a happy and fulfilling relationship, but there's only 2 of us. When are things gonna go my way? I only have 1 minute left. What should I do? I know. Dick. Usually works. All right, thank you guys. Oh, thank you. We got this. Good job.
Good game, good game. She's got me all fired up. Now I want to get on Tinder and find some ladies. When I first moved here, I'm like, oh gosh, I was having a hard time meeting friends, and I met a woman, and I kind of got the wrong idea where she's like, yeah, let's hang out. I'm like, I don't know my way around town. So she's like, okay, you just turn on Cooch. And I was like, okay. And she's like, we're gonna finger bang. We're going to finger bang. That is a place where you get your nails done, okay? Totally misunderstood. I got punched. It was a really good time. I did. I know, it was pretty good. But I have had a better time once I went online to learn how to do hair cutting. Because I'm like, hey, got these sweet bangs. It's too expensive to get my hair cut all the time. Turns out bangbros.com is not a haircutting tutorial. And I'm like, oh shit. It took me like a couple hours to realize that, where I'm watching these ladies do all kinds of work. And I learned so much. Bangbros.com. She's going at this guy like battle ropes. I'm like, he's gonna end up on blocks at the end of the night if she doesn't cut that shit out. He had the look on his face like he had insurance, so I think he can totally handle it. I am looking forward to our next comedian. I can't wait to hear what Amber G has to say.
I love this place so much. Always so excited to be here. I can't, it's so beautiful. It's such an uncomfortable arrangement of the space, and it smells like sewage a little bit. In a way that, you know, like you usually, if you're in a place that smells like something, you get used to it, like you don't smell it anymore, but somehow here, just, I think it kind of waves, it like wafts through, and not that you keep like, oh, there it is again. I do believe there's a lot of straw shaming going on here in Portland. Yeah, I think it's a little extreme. Like, no ma'am, I don't want a sippy cup. I just want a straw. It feels unethical because there's people like, I could need a straw to safely swallow. Or I just need to snort my cocaine later. Either way, it's none of your fucking business. It's really judgy. You know, I care about the turtles and stuff, but we're all just species trying to survive, so I think they understand. Because they're wise, 100 years old. I realize that I'm very cynical. I've always been very cynical. Like, even from a very young age, I remember being really skeptical about this Santa Claus character that everyone was talking about. And by 8 years old, my alcoholic father let the cat out of the bag that it was not real. And I was like, I knew it. And then immediately I started just like connecting the dots like a little Sherlock. I was like, that Jesus God stuff, because it's exactly the same description. There's this dude, he really cares about you, like deeply. You will never, ever, ever see him, but he cares about you. So I mean, like, I don't know how, yeah, I've never been good at having faith. Also single. Funny, interesting. Correlation, maybe. Okay. It's really hard to go out as a woman. If you some ladies here tonight, shout out to other ladies. Woo! Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. It's really hard to go out. It's not really hard, but you have to deal with a certain amount of bullshit if you go out by yourself, right? And a case in point, if you're not familiar with this phenomenon, it's like I went out to a karaoke night. I go out a lot by myself, so I have experience with this. I went out to a karaoke night by myself, yeah, because my life is deep and meaningful like that. And yeah, I was just enjoying myself, like singing along the music, and some dude kept dancing up to me and kept trying to touch me. And I was like, hey dude, I don't really know you, I don't like when strangers touch me. Didn't penetrate, he kept doing it like 2 more times, had the same conversation, a little bit harsher each time, and then he tried to grab my hand and kiss it. So I like snapped my hand away, and I was like, dude, stop fucking touching me. And I could see in his drunkety drunk face there was like some level of comprehension, and it's like annoying that I have to keep amping up the cuntiness level of my tone until it penetrates, until they can hear it, that I'm like, hey. And of course he was like really cool about it. He just like very politely told me to fuck off. And then for the remainder of the evening, each time he passed me, he held up his middle finger like this every time he passed by me. So sweet. I know what you're thinking. Where's Prince Charming now? Did you guys reconnect? Is this your meet cute? Yeah, I did let that one slip through my fingers, the one that got away, but that's on me. You can't get them all. I realize I'm a very like visual person, and I realize I don't really enjoy asshole comics, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way, because we're all assholes. I'm talking about the material that's like a 2 to 5 minute bit featuring literally an asshole, and it's like, you know, it's not personal, it's just like I don't want to visualize. It's like I spent so much time now thinking about someone's anus that I just like don't want to think about that in general. Just a preference thing. I do think wisdom comes with age. I think that cliche is true. I'm 39 now, and I've made a lot of shitty decisions. Slowly but surely, I've learned that there's consequences with actions. An example of this lesson was to finally learn to stop fucking young people. It took a few trials, you guys, I'm not gonna lie. But the last one that really like put the nail in the coffin, I took home a 24-year-old. I know it's gross. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is where I'm safe space here. Let me finish. Let me finish. Yeah, it all started with massages. So I took home a 24-year-old, but it wasn't my fault. He was super persistent. He kept like, you should take me home. And then he's like, I have a big dick and I like sucking on nipples. And I was like, oh, just get in the car. Knew it was a mistake, but I was like, just get in the fucking car. And then the problem was, yeah, then he was in my space talking. You guys, I hate it. It's like I've never related so much to old dudes. Like, I want to say old creepy dudes is a little redundant. Like, and they're my favorite people to make fun of. But in that moment, I was like, how do I get it to stop talking so I can fuck it? It was painful. And like he would say, he just like mention his ex-girlfriend and be like, that fucking bitch, just like 0 to 100, like adorable. Yeah, painful, but I learned that lesson. Another thing I'd say I've learned with age is that it is more valuable that looks don't really matter, that at the end of the day, like, even men will choose a good person over like a hot person, and I've never been like a super attractive person, but I really wish I worked more on my personality instead of wasted so much time trying to lose weight and to be funny. Both have not served me at all, because here we are. Is it Friday night? Is that a night that people like go out and have fun? Cool. I think last joke maybe. 10, 9, 8. There's a term I learned recently called dinks, double income, no kids. It just reeks of someone who is like bitterly entrapped in a lifetime of financial responsibility. It's very derogatory, like those fucking dinks. I'm actually single income, no kids, which would be even sadder term. Would that be like a sink? But I really don't give a fuck what you call me as long as you don't call me mom. Thank you.
Energy, everybody! Oh my goodness, you guys. It is tough out there. Any single people out here? The singles? How about a couple people? Anybody in some sort of a coupling situation? We got talent over there, you fucking liar. She's right next to you, you can't lie. Take out the ring when your wife's sitting next to you, you fucking idiot. Jesus Christ. You ever meet those people though? They got that list, that fucking, that list of expectations, you know, this motherfucker is never... You know what I'm talking about, that practical magic fucking list, you know? He's gonna have like one green eye, one blue eye, knows how to make pancakes. Yeah, I've watched the fucking movie 1,000,000 times. Kiss my ass. Sandra Bullock's a national treasure. I'm a lot like that, you guys, but it's like with suicide, you know? Like, I gotta find the right place, you know? I keep thinking, oh, you know, I keep rewriting my plan. I'm just never gonna die alone, I think is the problem I'm having right there, you guys. Oh my goodness. You know who's not going to have that problem? Coming to stage, one of my favorite people in the whole world. He closes out here a lot because he doesn't know how the internet works. But you know what? All that time that he puts into not understanding how Messenger goes, he puts into writing jokes. I assume. He keeps telling the same one here every night, but I assume that he's written a lot of fucking jokes. I'm just kidding, you guys. I love this guy a lot. Let's give it up for our headline comedian of the evening, Mr. Robert Manell, everybody!
What's up, guys? How you doing? You buried me with 2 jokes before I even got up here. Cool, that's what's up. Guys making fun of me for not knowing how the internet works. Says the bald guy to the balding guy. I don't know if that makes sense, Chris, but fucking, I got you. I see how it is. I can take a joke. I'm so furious right now. Now, how are you guys doing? You okay over there? Yeah, let's spread it around the room, see how everyone's doing, you know? Yeah. I don't know about you guys. I just got beat up this past weekend. Anybody else ever get? Yeah. Anybody else get the shit kicked out of them? It's so hard to fucking communicate to fucking 8 people over here, 0 people here, and 9 people over here. This is kind of. But anyway, does anyone else that ever got beat up? Just round of applause or anything? Yeah, sure. Fuck yeah. I got beat up this past weekend by a bunch of military dudes. Yeah, that's when I learned I can beat the shit out of a baby seal. Sounds way too much like I can beat the shit out of a Navy SEAL. So, yeah. I call that joke, don't drink in SeaWorld. Take that advice or leave it, I don't know. This might come as a shock, guys, but I actually got beat up like yesterday at a PETA convention. Yeah, that's when I learned I have to stop screaming that I can beat the shit out of a baby seal. That's what I learned from that. Thank you. I'm coming off a little tired right now. I know that, guys. I'm exhausted. I just got a personal trainer. I had to drag him home from LA Fitness, so luckily I live in my truck. I only had to drag him like a block, so Unluckily, my truck wouldn't start. So I had to push it here with 200 pounds of lean muscle in it. Luckily, I had a homeless lady helping me the whole way. Unluckily, she wanted something in return. Luckily, I had a condom. So, unluckily, it was expired. Luckily, she couldn't read too well. Unluckily, it broke during the act. But luckily, there's no way that kid's gonna live. So, there you go. It's a fake kid, if you're wondering. Yeah, thank you. No, I actually don't know if it's fake yet or not, but I'll get a text here in the next couple weeks or whatever. If it does live, I mean, I'll raise it or whatever, like I'll Skype in from Jamaica, I've always wanted to live in Jamaica. It's been a dream of mine. I just hope the zombie apocalypse doesn't go down while I'm there. Ding, 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 ding. That's a part of the joke, actually. I'm fucking so confused right now, god damn it. I had a fucking good joke fucking poised up right there, ready to go, and the fucking ding, dang, ding, dang. Fucking, I feel like OJ's at the door right now. I don't know. That's how nervous it made me. Yeah, I'm just gonna I got 3 minutes left. I'm just gonna go into complete different territory. Who has a dog in here? Anybody? Yeah, give it up, sure, yeah, okay. The only excited person in the room. I appreciate you so much. I just got sad news about my dog, actually. It ate my Harry Potter DVD. Yep. Afterwards, I was like, how was it? He was like, the book was better, so I'm having him put down. Because that's a waste of a talking dog. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. No, I'm a huge animal lover, guys. In fact, I think about animals a lot. Like, I was actually, like, homeless for a good amount of time. When I was homeless, I realized that I acted like a camel a lot, Like, I peed outside, I conserved water, and I let bearded men mount me for more water. So, it's really not funny. Now I can only get hard under a bridge, so, don't laugh. Let's take a survey. Who is voting for Elizabeth Warren? Good. All right, let's go on to my next joke. I don't know what the fuck. I'm gonna close it out with this, I think. Yeah, what did I talk about before that? Oh yeah, animals and shit. Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah. Me and my dad had a tumultuous relationship. Does anyone remember that show, Dragon Tales? Anybody? Yeah. I wish I did. I don't remember anything past the intro song. Yeah, that's when my dad called me a pussy and switched it to 60 minutes. Yeah, this went on for quite a while. Finally, one day I stood up for myself. He switches to 60 minutes, and I said, Dad, is that how you treat a child? And he was like, Robert, you're 25. And where are my pain pills? I said, turn Dragon Tales back on and I'll tell you. And then me and my dad watched Dragon Tales high as fuck, and we've been bros ever since. Alright, so I'll leave it there. Thanks. Peace out.
Robert Manell, everybody, let's keep it going. Oh my goodness. When Robert said, who in here has a dog? I swear to God, for a minute I was like, oh, there's shit on the floor again. God damn it. I was looking for the dog. You guys, that was it for HotBox. I want to thank you guys, everybody, for coming out. I'm sorry I didn't say anything racist tonight. This guy loves Here's the thing, it's not racist, and it makes me very uncomfortable that
It was white on white. It was beautiful.
It wasn't white on white, but you know.
It's too white.
But it wasn't racist. I mean, look, I realize that sounds racist to me saying here in front of these people who don't know the context of this, insisting that something you didn't hear wasn't racist, but it wasn't. Look, point of parliamentary procedure. Can I enter a New York Times article into the fucking congressional record? I think that's what you do. Oh my goodness, we're going to leave you guys with just these words of inspiration. We lucky few. Tonight there are people abed in their homes in Gresham who hold their manhoods cheap, for they were not with us this evening in the hot box. For those who tell jokes with me in the hot box are my brothers. Good night, hot boxers. Ave hot boxers. Get the fuck out of here.
Up and go, volcano hero, weirdo with flow, most disposable. That cats is back, crush your petty shit, crumble under spit. Let these fools be foolish. All numbers add up to one. Even with my back to the wall, roar my way out. Fist full of dollars and I talk shit so electric. Even in disbelief, all you can do is say,
Let's do this shit for real. Come on now.